Ever feel like you're pedaling as fast as you can, but not really getting anywhere? What if I told you that you could actually accomplish 90% of your tasks using only 70% of your usual effort? Imagine doing more, feeling better, and not burning out. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not just possible, it's achievable if you know the right strategies. I've been there. I pushed myself to the absolute limit, chasing impossible goals, and crashed. Hard. One morning, I literally couldn't get out of bed. That rock bottom moment, it changed everything. I spent months diving deep into the science of productivity, mental resilience, and how our brains actually work. What I discovered completely transformed my approach. And today, I'm sharing those game changing insights with you. Why hustle culture is silently destroying us. Let's bust a common myth right now, the idea that to be productive, you need to be constantly grinding at 100% capacity. I was the poster child for this. 5 a.m. wake ups, working late into the night, answering emails on weekends, you know the drill, the classic hustle culture addict. But guess what? The science tells a completely different story. Recent studies, like those exploring what some call productive laziness, show that constantly trying to operate at maximum output is a surefire path to cognitive exhaustion and eventually total burnout. Researchers looking at thousands of workers found something astonishing. With the right approach to managing effort, people could nail 90% of their tasks using just 70% of their usual energy. When I first stumbled upon this, my gut reaction was, no way, that's not for me. I have to work harder than everyone else. But my body and mind were already screaming warning signs I'd been ignoring. Constant fatigue, sleep problems, irritability, a nosedive in creativity. All classic symptoms of cognitive drain, directly torpedoing the quality of my work. Let's be brutally honest, the old school approach to boosting productivity is just about doing more, faster. But that's like trying to squeeze more juice from an orange you've already squeezed dry. At some point, you're not getting juice anymore. You're getting bitterness. Your biological rhythm, the untapped superpower for productivity. The first thing that flipped my entire world upside down was understanding my natural energy cycle, my chronotype. Picture this. Your energy and focus aren't a flat, constant line. They're like a wave, rising and falling throughout your day in a predictable rhythm. This is huge. When I started actually tracking my energy, I had a revelation. My peak productivity windows were roughly 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then again from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. During these biological prime times, my ability to focus and crush complex tasks was off the charts. Aligning my work with these cycles? That was the breakthrough. I started scheduling my most demanding creative work for these peak periods. Instead of just randomly attacking my to-do list, I began strategically designing my day around these energy waves. Deep, focus-intensive work during high-energy periods. Routine tasks, emails, and meetings? I shifted those to my lower energy slots. The result? I started getting more significant work done with less effort. This isn't magic. It's just working with your biology instead of fighting against it. And studies back this up. This approach doesn't just prevent burnout, it massively boosts actual output. Now, you might be thinking, but I can't just overhaul my entire schedule. Trust me, even small adjustments can yield massive results. Start by simply tracking your energy for a week. Note when you feel most focused and energetic. Then, gradually, try shifting your most important tasks into those golden windows. You'll be amazed. Strategic rest, your secret weapon for super productivity. Here's probably the most counterintuitive discovery I made on my journey. Rest isn't the opposite of work. It's an essential component of it. I used to think breaks were a sign of weakness. I'll rest when everything's done, I'd tell myself. And guess what? That list never ended. Cognitive science shows our brains operate in cycles, not like a machine with constant output. Researchers have found that an optimal productivity cycle is about 90 minutes of intense work, followed by a crucial 15 to 20-minute break to recover. When I started implementing these work-rest cycles, something incredible happened. Instead of feeling like I was working less, I noticed I was completing more meaningful tasks. Why? Because during those breaks, our brain isn't just idle. It's often working on problems in the background, subconsciously, often leading to those aha moments that eluded us during focused effort. But here's the catch. Not all breaks are created equal. Research clearly shows that true recovery happens when we genuinely disconnect from work. Mindlessly scrolling through social media or checking emails during your break, that doesn't give your brain the rest it craves. Instead, I started practicing what I call strategic recovery. During breaks, I take a short walk without my phone, do some simple breathing exercises, or just close my eyes and let my mind wander. Sometimes, just staring out the window at some trees has an incredibly restorative effect. To my surprise, these intentional pauses didn't slow me down, they accelerated my progress. And the science supports this. Strategic breaks boost not just well-being, but actual performance. Mental resilience, your armor against burnout. Productivity without burnout is impossible without mental resilience. And here's the good news. It's not some innate quality you're born with. It's a skill, like a muscle. It can be developed. Mental resilience is your ability to adapt to life's punches and setbacks, all while maintaining your performance and a generally positive outlook. When I began studying people who'd endured extreme situations, from prisoners of war and special forces operators to individuals who'd overcome severe trauma, I found these incredibly resilient people all shared common traits. First, and most importantly, realistic optimism. This isn't blind faith that everything will magically be okay. It's a solid belief in your own ability to handle challenges, no matter how tough. I started practicing this by visualizing positive outcomes while also acknowledging real obstacles and planning how to tackle them. The second key element, the courage to face your fears. Instead of dodging difficult situations, I began intentionally stepping out of my comfort zone, taking on tasks that scared me a little. Every time I conquered a fear, my confidence grew, and so did my capacity to handle even bigger challenges. This is like building a courage muscle. Third, leaning on social support. Studies consistently show that lone wolves rarely achieve true, sustainable resilience. I stopped seeing asking for help as a weakness and started building a support network, people I could discuss problems with, share wins with, and get honest feedback from. And finally, I discovered the power of gratitude and acknowledging my strengths. When we're facing tough times, it's easy to forget our past victories and the qualities that got us through. I started a regular practice of reminding myself of challenges I'd already overcome and the strengths that helped me do it. The practical playbook. Systems trump willpower. This was a monumental shift for me. Systems always beat willpower. We often think that to achieve more, we just need to try harder. But research shows willpower is a finite resource. It depletes throughout the day, like a battery. So, instead of relying on sheer grit, I built systems that automatically guide me towards productivity and away from burnout. I started by creating a clear daily structure that includes not just work blocks, but also scheduled time for rest and recovery. I also implemented a planning system that focuses on the significance of tasks, not just the quantity. Instead of trying to cram 20 things into a day, I pick 1 or 2 impact tasks, the ones that truly move the needle on my most important goals. Another powerful tool, delegating routine tasks whenever possible. In today's world, this can even mean using AI for repetitive jobs like scheduling, email sorting, or initial content drafting. And then there's deep work. This was a game changer. I carve out specific blocks of time where I completely disconnect from distractions, email, messages, social media, and immerse myself in focused, concentrated work. The results you can achieve in these deep work sessions are simply impossible with constant task switching. Red flags. Recognizing burnout and pulling back from the brink. Even with the best strategies, sometimes we still get close to that burnout edge. The key to preventing a full-blown collapse is recognizing the early warning signs. Over the years, I've learned my personal red flags. For me, the first sign is emotional exhaustion. When even the thought of work I normally enjoy brings a wave of apathy or anxiety. Other common signals include sleep disturbances, increased irritability, a weakened immune system, and a persistent feeling of having achieved nothing. When I spot these signals now, I take immediate action. First, I reassess my workload and don't hesitate to cut or postpone commitments that aren't absolutely critical. Ruthless prioritization is one of the most effective burnout busters. Second, I significantly increase my recovery time. This might mean an extra day off if possible, longer breaks between work sessions, or even a short getaway. The key here is quality recovery. Instead of passive rest like binge watching TV, I engage in activities that actively restore my mental resources: time in nature, physical activity, meditation, quality time with loved ones. Third, I reach out for support. This could be a chat with a trusted friend, a session with a coach, or even professional therapy. Social support is one of the most powerful shields against burnout. From theory to action, your first steps, starting now. If you've stuck with me this far, you're probably wondering, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I even begin? Let me give you 3 simple yet incredibly powerful steps you can take today. First, conduct an energy audit. For the next week, track your energy and concentration levels every hour. Note when you feel sharpest and most energized, and when you feel drained. This will help you identify your personal energy cycle and start planning your days accordingly. Second, implement a strategic recovery ritual. Start small. After every 90 minutes of focused work, take a genuine 15-minute break. Step away from your screen. Go for a quick walk, do some deep breathing, drink a glass of water, just look out the window. Feel the difference it makes to your energy and focus. Third, every morning, identify your impact task for the day. That one single action that will significantly move you towards your most important goals. Make this task your absolute priority and tackle it during your peak energy period, free from distractions. You'll be astonished at how this simple shift can boost your sense of accomplishment and slash your stress. The power of balance, redefining success. I started this journey with you by promising to share how to do 3 times more without burning out. But the real secret isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things, at the right time, in the right way. True productivity isn't measured by the number of tasks crossed off a list or the hours logged. It's about the impact you make while safeguarding your physical and mental well-being. It's about sustainable productivity, the kind you can maintain not just for a day or a week, but for years, for decades. I've walked the path from being my own worst taskmaster to someone who achieves significant results with far less strain. I've learned to value not just my output, but my well-being, knowing that one is impossible without the other in the long run. My definition of success has evolved. Success isn't just about achievements anymore. It's achievement plus well-being. It's the ability to create, contribute, and enjoy the process without depleting yourself. If there's one single idea I want you to take away from this, it's this. Your productivity and your well-being are not competing priorities. They are deeply interconnected. Taking care of your physical and mental health isn't selfish, and it's not a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement for sustained high performance and making a real impact. So, what will you choose? To continue running on fumes, risking burnout and diminished long-term results? Or to start working smarter, more strategically, in harmony with your own biology and psychology, boosting both your productivity and your well-being? The choice is yours. But remember, sometimes to do more, you actually need to do less. Sometimes to move forward, you need to take a step back. And always, to shine brighter, you must first refuel your inner fire. Don't forget to subscribe for more strategies on how to live and work better. And if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Which one of these strategies are you going to implement first? I'll see you in the next video.